Hello, sunshine. It's Thursday, September 14th, so happy Friday Eve. Time for Random Thought Thursday. Why is it that we drive on a parkway, but we park on a driveway? I'm Coy. This is CNN 10, the best 10 minutes in news, where I tell you the what, letting you decide what to think. In Russia, North Korean leader Kim Jong Un and his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin had a meeting at a Russian space center on Wednesday. Here's the scoop. U.S. officials have given a heads up that Putin might try to use this meeting to get some military weapons for his invasion of Ukraine. During their meeting, Kim Jong Un showed support for Russia's invasion. Kim even went as far as saying he'll, quote, always be standing with Russia. On the flip side, Putin seems to be hinting that he could assist Kim with his space program and the new technology for the North Korean military. North Korea has been putting a lot of emphasis on space technology lately, but they've had a couple of failed attempts this year to launch a spy satellite into orbit. This meeting is a big deal because Putin has been isolated on the international stage due to the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, and he's in need of more firepower after 18 months of fighting. Kim Jong Un has been talking about the importance of military satellites to safeguard national security and secure territory. For more, here's CNN senior international correspondent Matthew Chance.
Well, the leaders of these two most heavily sanctioned countries in the world met face to face at the Vostochny Cosmodrome in the Russian Far East, where Kim Jong Un and Vladimir Putin toured a brand new Russian space rocket launch facility. President Putin indicating that Russia would look to help North Korea with its space technology. Later, at a formal dinner, Kim voiced support for what he said was Russia's fight against imperialism, a reference to Russia's standoff with the West over Ukraine. But in terms of tangible results, frankly, there's not been much. No agreement signed, as far as we know, no joint news conference, the whole visit carefully choreographed and shrouded in secrecy. But, of course, that doesn't rule out the possibility that a deal may have been done behind the scenes. Russia desperately needs weapons and ammunition to sustain its war in Ukraine. And North Korea is believed to have vast stockpiles. North Korea, in turn, has an ambitious missile and satellite launch program, which may well benefit from Russian know-how. But of course, that kind of transfer may have profound consequences, both on the volatile Korean peninsula and on the front lines in Ukraine. Matthew Chance, CNN Moscow.
Maybe you've noticed lately that lots of things seem to be getting a bit more expensive. Maybe the cost of food at the school cafeteria has gone up, or the amount of money you used to spend on a movie ticket and popcorn is now only enough to get you the ticket. Now that's inflation, the term used to measure how much prices go up in the United States economy over a certain period of time. U.S. inflation accelerated in August for the second straight month, pushed up by rising gas prices. Across the country, on a month-to-month basis, prices rose 0.6% in August, compared with a 0.2% gain in July. All this will impact the U.S. Federal Reserve, which will decide next week if there will be another interest rate hike. A hike means you must pay more on interest charges from your credit card company, for mortgages, and even car loans will become more expensive. We'll hear more now on what to expect.
The U.S. economy is facing a couple of major hurdles, including another possible shutdown of the federal government next month.
Both sides, both Republicans and Democrats, have put us in this place where we have extraordinarily high inflation, where we're going to add $18.8 trillion to the debt in the next 10 years.
The United Auto Workers Union could announce a strike on Friday.
Since inflation is off the chart, it's not beneficial to me to be working at Ford, making half of what other people are making or not receiving the benefits that they're making.
And oil prices, which affect the cost of gas prices, are forecast to stay up through the end of the year. However,
people are out there with a lot discretionary consumer spending, travel, hotels, restaurants, all of that is booming. So people are acting as if they're in good shape financially, and yet they say, wow, this is a disastrous economy.
10-second trivia. In what country would you find the Taurus Mountains? Greece, Turkey, Mongolia, Spain. Located in southern Turkey, the Taurus Mountains are home to some of the world's deepest caves. Up next, let's talk about this intense international rescue mission causing quite the brouhaha in one of Turkey's super deep caves on Tuesday. A researcher was doing his thing exploring the cave when he suddenly got really sick and he couldn't climb out on his own. Here's CNN international correspondent Jomana Karache with more.
Shortly before 1 a.m. local time in Turkey, the cave rescue operation of American caver Mark Dickey came to an end. A successful one, as we saw those images of his stretcher being pulled out of Turkey's third deepest cave. Dickey appeared to be smiling, giving thumbs up. We heard from Turkish officials saying that he seemed to be fine and that they were going to get him on a chopper out of there and move him to Mersin Hospital in southern Turkey, where he will be headed for the medical treatment he needs. Now, this has been a very, very complex operation. It has lasted days. Mark Dickey, an experienced caver, was part of an international and local expedition. And when he fell ill at about more than 3,000 feet, more than 1,000 meters from the surface. But over the past few days, he had been stabilized. He was improving. He was walking. He was talking. We even saw a video recorded released by Dickey, where he spoke about his condition, but also explaining that he was still not okay on the inside and that he needed medical treatment. And this was such a complex operation, again, because this is one of the deepest caves in the world. We're also talking, according to experts, about a cave with very narrow and winding passages. So putting him on a stretcher and getting him out of there would have been very, very difficult. So they had to look at the different options, consulting with doctors to make sure they can get him out of there. And finally, this operation, this extraction began on Saturday, and it involved nearly 200 rescuers from different countries. It was a real multinational effort to try and get him out of there. And they moved in phases over the past few days. They would move, they would stop, rest a bit, and then move again until they made it out of that cave. This certainly is going to be good news for the family, friends, colleagues of Mark Dickey and all those who have been involved in this rescue operation that has brought an end to this ordeal. Jomana Karache, CNN, London.
Frank Rubio has been out of this world for over 355 days now. He just smashed the previous record for longest space mission by a U.S. astronaut. His mission was only supposed to be 6 months, but his spacecraft sprang a leak, leaving him chilling in the International Space Station since September of 2022. And he's not stopping there. When he wraps up this mission, he'll have spent at least 371 days in orbit. He's on the verge of becoming the first American to rack up more than a year in microgravity. Big thanks to the heart of the Rocky Mountains, Mr. Sposado and his historians at Summit in Frisco, Colorado. Hashtag Your Word Wednesday winners. For brouhaha, a noun meaning noisy and overexcited reaction to something. Well done. And our CNN 10 YouTube page shout out goes to Weston, Connecticut, Weston Middle School, rise up. Remember, you are more powerful than you know. I'm Coy Wire. This is CNN 10, and I'll see you tomorrow.